when there's ice in it, it's smaller. So you want the 26 ounce. And I was like, huh, okay.
Ooh, they thought ahead.
Yeah.
By the way, I just want to mention that Triarch crushed me in a ranked match in his MPR the other day, so
okay.
props to him.
La-di-da.
But do you want to kick it off?
Yeah, let's do it. I'm going to start with QQ7 over here. We have coming in, we've got Thunderer, Shikishima, Des Moines, Salem, Venezia, Petro, Stalingrad, 2 DDs. So we've got a mix of 12-kilometer radar and some DPM, plus the flanker in the Venezia. I think this is very interesting. The two battleships, long-range, sniping, devastating battleships with 18-inch guns. So I expect to see them out wide, landing shots on enemy cruisers and enemy battleships.
I can see that. Over with 5D2, we've got Yamato Ioho, or Ioho. Oh my god. It's Ohio. So I'm expecting the Ohio is going to be looking to brawl. He has a special consumable as far as the heals go, so he can heal much faster, more consistently than other ships, although he does run out. But because of that, he can definitely take some mean fights getting in with the secondaries going. We've got a Summers and Daring, pretty standard. We have double Stalingrad, double Des Moines, and a Venezia. So the single Venezia kind of mirroring the other comp, which is probably going to be working out. The double Stalin kind of mirroring as well, and the double Des Moines kind of mirroring as well. So this may actually have a similar setup. We just have to see how they play it.
Yes, indeed. And actually, we've got a very, very interesting setup here because both teams sending a Des Moines to the island at B. We've seen a number of teams do that so far. We saw SFNL from Kraken do that. He put himself in a Petro right here in B, aiming towards A. Very, very strong position with that radar. But for now, we're going to get each team sending a Des Moines straight in to stare at each other, as you like to say, across that rock wall. But then also similar setups coming on each side. So both of these teams being very careful to make sure that their Stalingrads, Petros, any ship with a long detection range and a wide, fat side, getting into position very carefully. So the Venezia for QQ7, Punisher 1 going wide out south and east to the sea cap, where it looks like for the other team, the Venezia going to the opposite side. We'll see how that shakes out.
Yeah, interesting. That's really the big difference right now, although we do have 5D2's Dejected Minion Stalingrad posting up at the F3, whereas we have that Petra on the other side. Is it Elusive Payfast? Payfast? Okay. Going seemingly really wide. I guess he's just going to nose in open water, where the Stalin on 5D2 looks like he has more of an island covery kind of position. We have both of those Des Moines looking to kiss and make up in the middle. And yeah, definitely looking down at C, where we've got that, where we have internet tough guys, Des Moines for 5D2, probably going to post up on the island at I9 if he's able to sneak around and get in there, whereas we have that Venezia of Punisher 1 and QQ7 running extremely wide. With the island in the way there, he doesn't really have a lot of room to kite, so is the Venezia going to have limited movement?
I think he absolutely will. That's exactly what I was thinking, because what we've got here, I think that the Venezia coming this way is a really strong play, Venezia being a very good flanker. However, the Stalingrad of Penguin with a Hugi, I love these names, by the way. This is the best part about KOTS is these names. Penguin with a Hugi, set up here in a Stalingrad, can put enormous pressure on that Venezia because essentially the Venezia's area of movement is limited, and that Stalingrad with its laser sight can absolutely punish the sides of it. So I think that C is going to be decisively in 5D2's favor already. Coming up here in the center at B, both of these Des Moines still essentially just, looking at each other over the fence. Ooh, big hit on 5D2's Des Moines from the Thunderer of Moose on the Loose. Good lord, then taking a second hit from the Shikishima of Master Chief of QQ7. That's about 40k down for the Des Moines of 5D2, as the Daring of 5D2 Longboard getting some just cheeky chip shots in on Buck J's Des Moines in the center. But QQ7 losing A to 5D2.
Okay, down over at the CCAP Classic, who sees a bunch of torps whiz by, one of which is kind of close, but nah, he's okay. QQ7 definitely has the dominant position in Bravo, using the stronger side of the rock. The rock on World War II Junkie's side, more sloped and kind of a little less protection, whereas the Buck Jays really snuggle up against a very high patch of wall, taking some shots from a Daring, but the Daring's not going to kill him anytime quickly. So, looking at the map, we have 5D2 has already taken A, and we have a Summers who's almost capped C, but Wonder Cube with the cock block. So, nothing quite happening there. Des Moines is actually moving to that I-9 position. So, we'll have the Stalingrad potential radar as well as the Des Moines brawling radar. If the Des Moines is able to scoop around on that 10 line and start getting some cheeky shots up at that Venezia, or definitely the Daring. Really expecting 5D2 to take some dominant position over at Charlie in just a moment when that Des Moines gets set up.
Yep. So just noticing here, the Des Moines of Internet Tough Guy, I really like that position, though there is one thing, which is he cannot reach the Stalingrad from QQ7 of Classic 1017. Big shots coming in again on World War II Junkie from that Venezia. That's really... and return fire from the Stali. Ooh, Buck J taking a big hit down here in the center from the Venezia of 5D2. Man, these Des Moines,
Planet, yeah.
yeah, these Des Moines here, obviously very stealthy cruisers, but just not stealthy enough given the fact that they may be even hard spotted, maybe proxy spotted by each other. So they're taking essentially any and all flanking fire that can come their way.
Yeah, one almost wishes the QQ7 Salem in the north was actually in Bravo right now, able to soak punishment longer than the Des Moines opposite him. But that's not the case. Salem trying to make moves on that B2 line, about to... Petro and Salem about to run headfirst into a Venezia at very close range with double radar. The Venezia will have to at some point turn out or just try to run for the rock. Oof, hit on the Daring, who's still trying to punish into the Des Moines. With that Venezia taking at least that position, he's able to try to pressure Buck J, but with the imminent movement of the Salem Petro, I think he's going to get dislodged, and that may end up resulting in some pretty crazy stuff.
Absolutely. So the Venezia of Captain Planet, I love that name, from 5D2 up here, having to dodge some of the torpedoes from Gibbon on QQ7. He's now in a little bit of an awkward position where he finds himself trying to maneuver and negotiate with this rock, while not obviously letting himself get spotted and destroyed by this Petropavlovsk who's moving up. So obviously 5D2 now with control of A, as the Daring decides to bug out and not give himself any more exposedness, yeah, to the Petro or the Salem up here in the north. B cap still being essentially just a staring match, a couple of crabs going hey, hey, hey. And unfortunately C also a bit of a staring match. You can see the Stalingrads mirrored in their setup. You can see the flankers mostly mirrored in their setup, although the Des Moines still with this very powerful position. Now taking some shots onto the Daring from QQ7. Looks like he got radared by the Stalingrad of Penguin with a hoagie. It's difficult to say whose radar it went up. I missed it, but some shots going in onto the Daring now.
So, looks like the Petra in the north, elusive pay fast, being seen by an Ohio and a Venezia and a Daring. Suddenly, he's not having such a fun time while Triarch is attempting to maneuver into position to maybe assist his friend. We've got shots from the Des Moines in center. Buck J using every heal he can, coming close to matching World War II's Junkie, as again the staring contest continues, and C has fallen. The Daring pushed off by the aggressive radar of the Stalin Des Moines combo down at C, allowing the Summers to finalize the cap, this giving double cap pressure to 5D2, while QQ7 has not been able to secure a cap. Resulting in a point lead difference of 190 points. That's a lead that they might start to run away with if something doesn't happen here.
Yep, I gotta throw in here now. The Ohio of Doommaster looks like he may take one torpedo. Yes, he takes one on the nose, but dodges quite a few others as he has moved up aggressively to put pressure on Buck J's Des Moines in the center, which he does. He has put maybe 15,000-20,000 damage already on as his guns overmatch the Des Moines. Down in the south, I saw it earlier, but the Des Moines of Internet Tough Guy putting some pressure onto Wonder Cube's Daring, but then getting smacked through the nose by the Shikishima of Master Chief, taking about 30k as he's starting to heal some of that back. The place to watch now, though, probably up here at A, as something's going to give. Either the Ohio's going to kill Buck J.
Yeah, Buck J's starting to make a move. He's feeling the pressure. He's starting to get antsy. He's down to 6k health trying to heal, but he's got a Daring drilling on him and potentially an Ohio that could turn his guns or maybe get some secondaries in there.
That's right.
If Buck J falls, that might result in 3 caps on 5D2's side. That could be a huge point loss.
Ooh, big hit from Moose on the Loose's Thunderer hitting the Ohio. The Ohio moving up to put pressure on Buckjay in the center, but at the same time, the Petropavlovsk of the elusive Payfast from QQ7 moving up and then putting more pressure as Dewmaster's Ohio is sort of stuck. He just can't angle against everything, so he's doing his absolute best. As the, oh my goodness, okay, Buckjay going down in the center. 5D2 gonna take B here shortly as the Ohio of 5D2 gets taken out in A. We will see if that's decisive in A. But right now, 5D2 sitting on 2 caps, soon to be 3, with a decisive point advantage as well.
Yeah, rounding up almost 300 points at this moment. B almost more than halfway capped by a World War II junkie, now no longer pressured in the center. The question comes, will the Summer Petro be and Salem be able to make it happen? 5D2 losing another ship, now down 2 as opposed to QQ7's 1. They have the point lead, but they're starting to lose the ship lead.
Yep.
And down 70,000 health overall across the map.
Oh my goodness. So once again, Moose on the Loose coming in somehow over the mountains there and essentially overmatching the Des Moines.
Oh, they blocked B? I didn't see that.
Yes.
That's huge.
That's the big thing. That's huge because now QQ7 about to block the cap points from A. I don't know if the Daring's not quite in C yet, not blocking yet, but it's looking to do so. QQ7 very aware that I can't let points bleed too much, but that they seem to have a ship and a health advantage at the moment, nearly 70,000 HP health advantage.
Yeah, with the Ohio finally gone in the north, the Summer starts taking aggressive position, even in the face of a Stalingrad radar, which I assume is down. God, it must be at this point. Salem and Petro now putting extreme pressure on the Stalingrad. Looks like the Daring not being shot. Yes, they are all focusing on Dejected Minion. If they can remove that radar from the board, that's going to completely open up the AB side of the map, allowing for their forces in the south to simply hold place while A starts to storm down into crossfire positions and eventually take B. Daring is continuing to run, but is stuck. He's stuck between the Stalingrad and a hard place with nowhere to go, with Torps in front. Dejected Min is definitely going to go down here. The real question is, will Long Border be able to make it out somehow?
It looks like he is, as the Des Moines of Internet Tough Guy getting slapped down by the Shikishima. We are seeing a lot of battleships matching these Des Moines. These Des Moines being very, very powerful cruisers, but not having the armor to withstand battleship rounds the way that a Stalingrad or even a Petro does. So here is the, another shot. Dejected Minion Stalingrad goes down as predicted, so it is now 4 ships down for 5D2 versus 1 for QQ7. A bunch of damage going in onto Wonder Cube's Daring as he attempted to block C, but it just wasn't enough, and he is now open water gunboating now that the Des Moines of Internet Tough Guy has been taken down in the C cap. So QQ7 very likely to be able to flex a little bit more of their map control and start pushing 5D2 out of their point advantage.
Absolutely. Didn't see the Des Moines fall in the south for 5D2, but the removal of that takes so much pressure off Wonder Cube's Daring, who, having was driven off because of the Stalingrad's radar, which is now down. Surprised to see Wonder Cube not poking back into C to continue the cap contest, although I believe QQ7 is just banking on their ships being able to push through A, drive that Venezia off, maybe even take a 1v1 Summers against a Daring with half health.
Yep.
I don't know how that's going to work, but he does have a Thunder right behind him to try to chip some health in as they are making their move on Bravo right now.
Absolutely. Moose on the Loose, Thunderer, taking shots now at the Venezia. This Thunderer with AP shells, so powerful. Those 18-inch shells, those 457s, 8 of them, very, very accurate. Everybody thinks of the Thunderer as a HE spammer, but quite frankly, it's able to overmatch the casemate of most Tier 10 cruisers with those 457s. So obviously, especially good at destroying Des Moines, and this game being full of Des Moines. Let's see.
So Gibbon taking the fight with the Daring and not necessarily winning the fight, but the Daring not in a position where he can continue to brawl. Daring was chipped down from 9K all the way down now to 5. That actually
Oof.
makes the trade a little more even as the Daring takes some cross shots from the southern contingent of QQ7's forces. He does look like he's gotten out of given spotting detection, and I didn't see a radar flare off, so I think Long Border is just going to have to run the hell out of B,
Yep.
try to stay alive, maybe get a heal, but B is going to shortly fall to QQ7. The points have actually meshed up almost on top of each other, 520 to 582. Once that second cap comes in, Longboarder looking to make a cheeky play. He's not running out of B. He's going to sacrifice his life, try to stay in as long as he can, and potentially get some torps on the Salem, or maybe do some YOLO torps on the Thunderer.
Oh, the Thunderer, yeah, that's
QQ7's classic just radar. Now the Daring is spotted. Is Triarch going to have shots? You already see shells coming out.
bang from the Stalingrad. Down goes the
There he
Daring.
goes. So
Yep.
QQ7 moving to B, continuing to contain C, and now with the point lead, 580 to 544.
So, Oskans, I'm gonna go ahead and predict that I think QQ7 is gonna walk away with this match. I'm curious to know, both of these teams had very nice early setups. We noticed that right at the beginning that they both tended to take a pretty decisive advantage, and actually, a pretty decisively similar map setup. And the one thing that we actually predicted was that the Venezia of QQ7 on the east side was actually going to be a disadvantage for them, and it seems to have not worked out that way. Where do you think this went south for 5D2?
Well, I have to say, 5D2 with the aggressive play on the Des Moines, I think it did work out. The Venezia of QQ7 was a disadvantage in the sense that Des Moines, with the radar on top of the Stalin radar and the DPS as well, was able to claim C, where they even have C to this day. However, 5D2 moving their Venezia up to the north meant that their Stalin that took a nice island and placed position was static. Whereas QQ7 did not do that. They ran the Petro and the Salem on top of each other, using some smoke to get those two wide and forcefully claim the B2 island, generating some crossfire. Wasn't a huge crossfire with only the Des Moines and Bravo to assist as he slowly got chipped down, but still, crossfire it was, with the Summers as well chucking torps all the way. The Venezia in the north didn't have the radar that a Des Moines would have, meaning they didn't have the anti-DD pressure to keep them safe.
It certainly did. Now it looks like we're just seeing some cleanup here. I was reminded by somebody in chat, Oskans, that I have the team colors wrong. So QQ7 is showing up as red on mine.
So if you hit the other, the overlay thing, there's overlay A and then switched sides. If you go to switch sides, it'll do that for you.
Okay, so there we go. I need to make sure my... Looks like everything's okay. I think my audio is still proper. Yes, it is. Okay, great. Thank you. That was an easy fix.
Yep.
Anyway, all right. Well, thank you everybody who mentioned that. Looks like I need to change my... 1 second. I need to stretch my... Something happened and my well, my things aren't quite stretched to screen. There we go.
Ooh, that was close. Classic sneaking right by a torp that could have finished him with only 10.7. Takes a few shells from the Yamato as the Yamato falls. But pretty much the side from A was able to come down while the C side of QQ7 held fast. And now all of our 5D2 folks are in a crossfire, hanging out to islands. And with 2 minutes and 30 seconds in the game, I think we can officially call this one Grats QQ7. Some decisive moves in the north. While 5D had some decisive positioning in the south, it just didn't translate into a win as the static play of C was not able to maneuver across the map, whereas the non-static play of QQ7 was able to make crossfires and claim position.
Yep.
Even though they had such a huge point up forward in the end, so well played.
Oh, can you hear me, Oskans? I just looks like I had an enormous packet loss there. Sorry about that, everybody.
I hear you.
Okay, great. I guess we're back now. It's always strange in your OBS when you see the little green light that usually says 2600 KBS. All of a sudden it turns to 0 and turns red, and you go, oh dear.
Ooh, that's not good.
That's not great. So yeah, absolutely. I think it's worth noting that both teams playing really, really well in this matchup. 5D2 putting up a very nice early game, along with QQ7. It just happens that QQ7 coming away with the win here after capitalizing on a few mistakes and a little bit better positioning. So congratulations to QQ7. I know that's not your clan logo, and I know that's not your clan name. You're not Social Clan, but either way, congratulations on game 1.
Yeah, it was an excellent match. It often, when you come down to these really high-end plays, or really high-end teams, it's not about a big flashy play. It's not about just like some crazy unexpected something. It comes down to attrition. It comes down to small movements with position